everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a best of 3 Kaldheim draft. Actually, I have some choices here. Skimfar Avenger is the rare. Pretty tempted to take it, but I love Dwarven Hammer. This card is really good. Otherwise, there's Frostbite in here, which is good. I haven't gotten to play with Skimfar Avenger, so I'm kind of willing to take it and give it a try. It's cool that it works with both elves and berserkers, and it's good value. I suppose we take it. Otherwise, I would probably take the Dwarven Hammer. Passing these kind of sucks because it's going to turn off the berserker version of this deck, but maybe we play the elf version of this deck, and we'll Return Upon the Tide or Duskwielder. Sure. Well, follow-up pick. Well, in black, we've got Wither Crown and Demonic Gifts. Not bad. Wither Crown, not so exciting if you're trying to beat down, though. We can take Raven Wings. Leaves us a little more open. Otherwise, I like Finn the Fangbearer a lot. And you can totally play this in the Golgari Elves deck. It does seem a bit early to take Raven Wings, but I might take it anyway. It's a good card. Solid equipment. Could take Rune of Sustenance as well. But I'll take the Raven Wings. Nothing's jumping out at me there. So Reinforcements doesn't actually work with Avenger because they're tokens. There's Changelings in blue, so technically they could still end up working with Avenger. I'm trying to think here. I could take Skull Raid. It's an okay card. Maybe we just take the Mentor. It seems like it's got the best synergy with Avenger. It seems early to take it, but it's just nothing really screaming out at me here. I mean, also we could just take Arctic Treeline or Valkyrie. Yeah, you know what? Let's take the Treeline because black has snow as well. So we'll see if we get some stuff. All right, like Shadow Sage now at least is a good card to work alongside Shadow Sage, or Avenger rather. Some red stuff in here. All right. And a Mass Vandal is technically an elf. This still works with the Berserker form of the deck too, because it's more contingent on whatever greatest number of creatures you have. There's Provoke the Trolls. Let's just take Shadow Sage. I've had pretty good experiences with this. This is also a good res target for Return Upon the Tide. Okay, well, we could take the Death Knell Berserker. It's both an elf and a berserker, and it works well with Raven Wings. There's also Jaspera Sentinel for fixing, but I'll take the berserker. There's Frostbite in here, pick 6, which is kind of interesting. Could just take the Raise the Draugr, because we're going to be hunting for elves. We already have 3, and the upside is quite high, especially if we have a lot of cheap stuff. All right, getting back any of these seems pretty good. We'll stick with black for now. So Raider does synergize with Avenger. Could just take the Kennel Master, though. It's a fine 5-drop. It's also a Berserker. Yeah, I think we stick with black. So we could take the Wither Crown now. We do look a little bit beat down, though, but it's nice to have removal. And otherwise, I'm taking a Mammoth Growth, and there's no guarantees I'm green. But if I am green, I'd probably much rather have Mammoth Growth because we do look kind of beat down. All right. I'm going to assume we might be green. So now my only regretful pick is the Elderleaf Mentor, but it's not the end of the world. It just would have been good synergy with the Shadow Sage and the Avenger. And I might still have a need for snow. We'll see. All right, we've got some actual options here. Duskwielder works well with the Skimpar Avenger. Root of Might I can stick on Raven Wings. I could play Elf Berserker Beatdown. Stuff with like Mammoth Growth does get better. There's Frostbite in here as well. Return Upon the Tide is cool. Does work with Shadow Sage. It's good synergy with Shadow Sage. We'll go Return Upon the Tide. I'm interested to see how that works. All right, now we'll take the Wither Crown. It's not very good for what we're trying to do, but could be black-white, but more likely black-red. And I don't want to play a 7-drop Berserker. All right, Skull Raid is good. We'll take that. Guess we take Arachnoform. Not likely to play it, but it's good synergy with Death Knell Berserker. That's true. Yeah, we could play pretty hard Elven Beatdown here. We'll see if that pans out. All right, Shackles. I mean, if you're playing Beatdown, it's pretty good. All the Wither Crowns a little boy could ask for. All right. So choices here. We have some decent ones. You can take the Rune Crown now. Hopefully find a black or green rune. I mean, these are very good if you do. Otherwise, there's Coma's Faithful, which you may wheel. And Draugr's Helm, which is actually pretty good equipment too. And it gives you a Berserker. But it's a token. Not that it's a huge deal. But if we're playing Beatdown, we want our curve to be low. But it might still make more sense to take the Helm. I'm not sure. Because we need a rune to make the Rune Crown good. I'll take the Helm. You know what? It's fine. It's a little bit expensive. Could take like a Gifts instead. Seems way too early for that. Alright, well, whatever. So we can take Way Down. I actually don't... You know, in general, I don't like this card, but I like it kind of even less in here because we have Raise the Draugr and Return Upon the Tide. So I probably take the Sculptor, which is a 2-drop elf that maybe can get us more mana. Even though we're not guaranteed to be elves. We've only got 3 elves right now? Weird. Thought we had way more than that. I think we need some more creatures. Well, Rootless Hue in a vacuum is good. Could take the Maskwood Nexus. That's going to be really good with our Avenger and our Shadow Sage. So, and it spits stuff out. It's going to slow us down, though. And we're trying to be beat down. Otherwise, I could take the Disciple, which is very good with the Avenger and the... That's tough. Am I slow or fast? This is pretty slow. And I feel like we should be going for more of a beatdown plan. So I might take the Disciple. You also don't get... It doesn't really work with... Well, it kind of works with Avenger, but... The tokens don't draw you cards. I'm going to take the Disciple. I don't know what to say. I'm going to try and play aggro here, which means I probably want to take these Wither Crowns out. Here I take the Mentor, I think, over the Way Down. Another elf. I mean, at least I have a plan now. we need quite a few more creatures. I can count this. Another Shadow Sage is kind of an ideal pickup for us because we can spit out a lot of elves. So we'll take that. Be nice to get like a last pick Mammoth Growth or Gifts. I play either one. Gifts is actually really good with the Berserker too. But we'll take the Shadow Sage. Alright, we can take the Berserker. But we probably, yeah, I think we gotta take the spell land here. As much as I want Berserker. Alright, now I'll take Way Down. Over Village Rites, yeah. Gives us some targeted removal. Can take another one, but can take the Snow Swamp, but I think we just take the Berserker. We want a lot of 2-drops. Could use another piece of equipment in here. Can take the Faithful or can take the Gifts. I still need some more creatures. I'm going to take the Faithful. It's another elf too. Alright. Okay. Take another Way Down. I guess that's fine. I don't want to play any more than 2. Dogged Pursuit might actually be a top-end thing I can do. Rootless, you can't get anything currently. Don't need any of these. We'll take Spectral Steel. Show that blue and white are open. So we're up to like 11 creatures. We need more. Alright, I'll take the Gifts. It's not a creature, but it's a cheap combat trick that works well with Berserkers. And Disciple. And Faithful. And even like Shadow Sage. So, I suppose I could play that. Oh, geez, Berserker. I can take the Duskwielder. It's a pretty unexciting first pick. The only snow card I have in my deck, though, is Sculptor, which we don't need to play. I'd like a pick or some sort of equipment here, other than the 2 we have. But yeah, we'll take Duskwielder. I think we can hopefully beat down fast enough. There's also Sentinel. But yeah, I'm fine with this. So probably cut this. Probably cut Pursuit. Might even cut Skull Raid. Probably cut Arachnoform. Because I'd rather do an equipment over it, if possible. There's another Raise the Draugr, but maybe I'll just take the Faithful. We still need more creatures. And Faithful at least feeds the yard for Way Down, for Raise the Draugr, for Return Upon the Tide. Roots of Wisdom does too, but I'd rather have creature. Well, Pretender looks pretty good in here, actually. Yeah, 11 elves. So we'll take that. So we can take another Duskwielder, or we can take the Jarl. Jarl is actually pretty good. It lets us kill big things with our little things. We have a lot of little dudes, so despite it not being an elf or a Berserker, I think I'd rather do that. We need some ways to deal with things. So we could take another Raise the Draugr, or we could take another Kennel Master. I mean, Raise the Draugr is pretty cool with the quantity of elves we have, but do I need 2 Kennel Masters? like I'm more willing to lose some dudes and get them back. As much as I want the pick, I think we got to take another Elder Hall here. Just removal lands free for the deck. Another Jarl is a good pickup. Yeah, okay. Third way down, probably not happening, but whatever. I got the Snow Forest. Makes our Sculptor better. So we can make our curve pretty low. We might play 17 lands. Yeah, we probably do. Our curve is very low. And really we have like 16 creatures with the Helm, which I may or may not play. Well, I guess I don't need either of those. All the Raise the Draugrs, huh? I could go for a more streamlined, like Arachnoform beatdown deck. But I got the Wielder back. Yeah, we could. I mean, turn 1 Dusk Wielder, turn 2 Arachnoform is pretty good. I might consider it. I could consider doing Suicide Elves here. Because, to think about this, though. Because I might dump the Way Down plan, stick with more of the Raise the Draugr plan. Bring in Arachnoform. Let me think about this. This is kind of an ambitious elf beatdown deck, but this could theoretically work. Let's cut the roots. I think I'm cutting the way downs because I'd rather do gifts, mammoth growth, arachnoforms. Arachnoforms aren't removal, but they can beat down. Like turn 1 Dusk Wielder, turn 2 Arachnoform, get in for 3 is pretty good. And I have Village Rites for sideboard against removal.deck. Like I even want to cut more of our top end. I'm still cool with the Raise the Draugrs because we have just a boatload of elves. Two Raise the Draugrs and Return Upon the Tide seems excessive. But Return is so good with Skimfar Shadowsage in this deck. Maybe we just do the 1 Raise the Draugr. We also have, remember, we have Elder Hall for removal or whatever. I could cut this and then either Helm or Kennelmaster. Kennelmaster can draw us a card off of the Avenger. Helm seems a little bit slow, especially with 4 equip. Could also just keep all of my top end and cut like a Sculptor, and then I don't need to play this tap land. It's not like I need to ramp in this deck anyway. And then how many 1 and 2 drops do we have? The 2 Dusk Wielders, the 2 Berserkers, Disciple, Avenger. It's not bad. Or I can cut the Draugur's Helm, keep the Sculptor. Give us another 2 drop for these Arachnoforms. It's just like a Grizzly Bear in here, though, basically. Yeah, I guess we can cut the Sculptor. Still have plenty of creatures. Might be ambitious to try out the Arachnoforms, but remember, Way Down and like Raise the Draugr and Return Upon the Tide have zero synergy together, which is kind of why I don't like Way Down in the first place. But this looks pretty good. I wonder if I can fit that second Raise the Draugr in there. I mean, it's a way to get actual value in this deck, but maybe just 2 is enough. The Raise plus the Return Upon the Tide hopefully is enough. All right, interesting deck. So, yeah, I think we'll run it like this and try the beatdown plan, see what we can do. We'll see you round 1. All right, this is a good hand. Turn 2 Berserker, turn 3 Arachnoform on it. Pretty solid. I do like that we have the Village Rites because those are good outs against like any sort of removal, particularly like Bind the Monster. And, uh-oh. Well, let's, guess we can dump Shadow Sage. Can always get that back later with Raise the Draugr. And it's an elf, so I have more things to get back, unlike the Kennel Master. Alright. We got Wither Crowns for that. If I don't draw a mana, I can get my Shadow Sage back. How does this work? I guess Berserker can also block the Predator, sort of. They have to... Well, the problem is they can sack their dude and pump this and take our Shadow Sage. I can get it back now. I think I do that. I think I just get it back. Oh, wait. They can... Oh, they can do it from any graveyard, though? Jeez. They can sack in response, I guess. Alright, that's actually fine. Now I just get in for 4. I think that actually worked out better. Maybe not, but we'll see. Sure. All right. So can Arachnoform plus Mammoth Growth, but I think we actually go Mentor and get in for 4. This keeps me a little bit protected from that Raider's Carve. Technically I have us on a 2-turn clock, but this is okay because we have another Arachnoform. wonder if I have lethal here. I guess we have lethal technically. All right. Cool. So I can do... They didn't show us any removal. They didn't show us much at all. Immersturm Predator is good. I could dump the Raise the Draugr plan. And Way Down does actually deal with Predator, but not very well. Only if they have nothing else. I don't think it's going to work. But Wither Crown is actually a pretty good out for it. It's also a decent out for Berserker. Could dump the Helm because it's a little bit slow. Bring in a Wither Crown. Can Skull Raid them, but we're on the draw. They have to have removal in there, but I don't want to preemptively bring in Village Rites. I think we can dump Raven Wings. It does give me a flying blocker, I guess, against the Predator, but we've got the Wither Crowns for those. All right. I don't love them, but it's like a way to... I'm bringing them in basically because they not only deal with Predator, but they deal with other creatures as well. So they're like an out for Predator, which is good. But probably going Disciple, Faithful, Arachnoform, or Shadow Sage. We'll see. It's even better. So maybe do turn 3 Faithful. It's a decent opportunity to do the Arachnoform and get in for 5. That's true. I think I'm going to do the Faithful, though. Better use of mana, set up better for next turn with Disciple plus Arachnoform. That's tough. I think the lifelink takes precedent here. It's better use of mana, it gives me a lifelink beater. That's got to be a better target for Arachnoform. Weird choice. That's cool. And a Duskwield for sure. Alright. Wither Crown, that's good. So we have the out now for the thing. I suppose I just do Pretender now. Not the best use of mana, but kind of makes sense. Then if they play the Predator or whatever, I can answer that. They don't have any snow. Alright, so with 5 mana we go. This brings up to 3. We can attack for 5. They could double block it, lose both their cards. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Plus we get to draw. I guess it's still a 2 for 2. What? That's not what I expected. This seems fine to me. I mean, I can hold off a turn 2. Because they have no cards left in hand. Alright. We'll just do it on this and then pass. We want to do it this turn because we want to make good use of our mana. Like, we could have attacked there. We could have killed the effigy and the Draugr. But next turn I can potentially go Arachnoform again. And keeping the Wither Crown seems smart for the Predator. Jarl. Well, let's do Shadow Sage. We'll get in for 6. They have to triple block it to kill it. Then I guess I'll get in with the Disciple too. I'd rather just draw off the Disciple. And if they want to chump block, that's fine. We basically turn Disciple into they've discarded, we draw. Yeah, seems fine. Even if they have a board wipe, we draw 3 cards. Alright. We'll see for round 2. Alright, round 2, we'll play first. It's a keep. Not a great hand, considering what this deck can do, and the fact that the Berserkers need some help, but we've got some good synergy cards with the Berserkers, so hopefully it works out. Jarl is a good one. So we can do that. Get in for 4. They do have mana up. There's too many commons, I think, that deal with this situation, so I'd rather just attack. Alright. Well, that's possibly good for us. Might mean we can resolve this Arachnoform. Potentially. Alright. We're gonna go for it. pretty good one. Makes their burn spells way better. I mean, this way if they kill Berserker and my Mentor, at least my Raise the Draugr can do something. Alright, that's cool. No. Well, I don't want land. No, I guess a land would actually help, so I'll decline that. So now I might just play the Berserker. Could do the Shadow Sage as well. Shadow Sage is going to be so much better with that Elder Hall. Well, I mean, I can play the Shadow Sage and block Toralf. That's probably better, actually. Because that way, I can block Toralf with Shadow Sage. It dies. I can still get 2 creatures back. This isn't a giant, right? All right. Oh, but it's wizards too, or just giants? Just giants. Okay. That's cool. Guess I can just attack here. Sure. So we'll go raise. No, I don't want to do it yet. So let's see here. 5 mana, I can boast plus Jarl plus Raise the Draugr. I think we'll do that. So they did have exactly what they needed, unfortunately, but we'll do the Raise the Draugr at the end of their turn, I think. We can get 2 clerics back too, but I might just get 2 elves, because then they're just going to die to Mentor plus Shadow Sage. They have another Disdainful Stroke? I was going to say. That's too bad. Do this. Trying to think. Best use of mana is the Elder Hall. So I guess we can do that. That was a close one. They got some sick rares in there. Once again, we might bring in the Wither Crowns to deal with the, because they were the only bodies we were scared of. They can bounce them, I guess. But with all their removal, I kind of want to get off the Arachnoform plan. With the Frostbites, it's way too much of a liability. So, we'll get off Arachnoform. We'll bring in Wither Crowns. I'm still definitely on Raven Wings. They're a slower deck. We could even do Dogged Pursuit, Skull Raid. Like, these are good options against an opponent that's slow. We could do Skull Raid. Village Rites is good against them too. With the Frostbites and such. Yeah. I wonder if I want to do that instead of... Think about this. Maybe I can dump the Draugr's Helm. It's kind of slow. I could ditch the Mammoth Growth. Like, basically I can miss out on some tricks that help me win to turn off their value cards. Plus, I still want to fit a Skull Raid in there if I can. I don't know if I have space for it as much as I want it. Oh wait, do I have space now for it? Did I miss something? I guess Dogged Pursuit was something I was considering, but I'm gonna have to just settle for this. Oh, did I forget? Did I take a Sculptor out accidentally? I have to look at that. I think I accidentally clicked on something and didn't see it get removed, but it got removed. Alright, we'll keep this. The Wither Crown, it's not as insane as I'd like it to be against... this can get frostbit, but let's see. Looks like they have it. So I could have waited. I could have played that on turn 2. Honestly, it didn't seem worth it to me. If you're playing your 1-2 on turn 2, it's really not worth it. Like, I could wait a turn on this now, but it's kind of the problem with being on the draw when you're aggro and trying to make village rights work. Well, if that's Demon Bolt, this could be pretty good for us, actually. Alright. That's good for us. I'm going to do the Dusk Wielder. Not the best use of mana here, but we're going to do it. Looks like they have more removal in there. Well, that's cool. So we'll do Raven Wings. I'm going to equip on the Dusk Wielder. Looks like they have the Disdainful Stroke, probably. Or not. Huh. Kind of okay with that. Sure. They can't pump it. It's kind of nice. Probably means I just go Elder Hall, Mentor. Sweet. Nice theft and match 2 there. All right, we'll see in the finals. All right, round 3, we'll keep this. Yeah, that's a good draw. So we can go Disciple into Pretender into Mentor. Good turn progression. Could actually go... Yeah, you know what? This is probably even better. Raven Wings into Pretender, into Mentor, into Disciple. Get more Pretender buffs going. This is not the most aggressive I've ever been. But that's okay. Even if they play a blocker here, I can still go Disciple plus equip Raven Wings next turn, which is actually pretty good. Sure. So we'll go Disciple. Sure. Ooh, another one. Well, set up for this then. And next turn we play this, we drain for 5, so we do have lethal next turn. They don't have a giant currently. Now they have a blocker. But that's sweet. All right. So we got them game 1. They've got draw cards and some good snow value stuff. Could bring in the way downs, but nothing died on our side that game, so I don't know about that. I'm still kind of on board with Arachnoform. They didn't actually show us any removal, surprisingly. Doesn't mean they don't have it, but there might be an argument for taking out the Raise the Draugr. Like, they seemed a little bit slower, and they're ramping, so actually Skull Raid seems like a good inclusion. Maybe bring out the Draugr's Helm because it's slow. I don't know why I had it in there in the first place. I guess it's playable, it's just I don't know which match I would want that in. And I could bring out Raise the Draugr because stuff is not likely to die. It might be too premature to do that, but I mean, what am I bringing in instead? Way down so that I can kill Inga or Outrider or Raven. And those are 3 pretty good targets, but it kind of suffers the same problem as Raise the Draugr. I need creatures in the yard in order for it to do anything. I could do Dogged Pursuit as like a inevitability thing. I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe I'll dump Raise the Draugr for Dogged Pursuit and try it. See if it pans out. There's a chance it does. This is definitely a keep. And it's a good hand too, because Demonic Gifts with Death Knell Berserker is some fantastic synergy. Great draw. I mean, I could have held off until Pretender territory, but that's okay. It's not a bad idea. Problem is I keep the body around, so it's still going to end up being good for me with the Shadow Sage. I think we name Elf. We actually have 2 clerics in hand, but I'd rather do Elf. Well, we still have elves, and that thing will still grow, so I'm kind of okay with this. Outrider, sure. Avenger is good. Yeah, it's actually pretty slick. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be tempted to block there. Maybe not. Oh, wow. Well, alright. So I can drain, or I can foretell. Either way, it turns off demonic gifts. I'm gonna do the Jarl. This lets me do gifts plus Jarl next turn, which seems better. Skull Raid, well, don't mind if I do. Well, I guess we can attack first. So I guess we have to do the Jarl, which is fine. Raven Wings is a good draw, so let's do Jarl. Killing only 2 died. I think they're going to play spells next turn, so it's probably better to just get the Raven Wings down now. The Skull Raid can still just draw us cards at some point. Alright, Lindworm is big. No doubt about that. But this is fine still, I think. We have the blockers, so I feel like we can race this. So we'll do Elder Hall. Equip on Avenger, I guess. Can also potentially block with my Pretender, Demonic Gifts, get it back, and set up for a nice Shadow Sage next turn. I mean, it prevents 6 damage too. They're going to copy their Lindworm, so we also draw a card off of it. Yeah, all in all, I think it's worth it. Because I think that's what they're doing on their turn anyway. That's interesting. So I can Skull Raid them. little bit tricky to win the race now, I guess. A little bit. I can also... I think we Elder Hall now. Not that it's game for 4. If I were to take 13 next turn, I play Shadow Sage. Can drain them for 6. Potentially equip the Pretender. And they're not attacking? Wow. Well, that's pretty nasty for us then. They can tap the Pretender now, but they're definitely dead. Mammoth Growth was a pretty crucial draw there. All right, sweet. So we won the whole draft, huh? I wasn't expecting that. This was an ambitious elf deck, and it came together and worked really nicely. And yeah, ended up going 3-0 with it. So hope you enjoyed it. Fun draft. We'll see you for the next one.